At one time in our history, the area at 102 West 116th Street in Harlem, New York, where the Nation of Islam's Mosque Number 7 was located. It was the hot spot, the function at the junction. Because of the presence of Nation of Islam members who were highly visible at this location, this was one of the safest city blocks in New York City. A much respected man named Brother Minister Malcolm headed up the mosque there. The Nation of Islam's reputation that commanded respect was attributed to the fearless Minister Malcolm, who was a man who said what he meant and meant what he said. And everyone knew it, even his enemies.
Whatever remnants of Malcolm's spirit when we came up to, when I first came up here,
correct,
back in the early 90s, it's not so much nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what really directly to attribute that to, but I remember when I first came, it was just like, and it was kind of an addictive type of feeling. You know, I wanted to feel, and maybe it was me convincing myself that I was feeling this, but it was part of the allure initially for me to come to Harlem, particularly around the 125th Street area. And this was back in the days before Giuliani messed up everything down there, and there were people, vendors and everything, and it was a very eclectic place, you know what I mean?
125th Street, where they ran the vendors off.
Exactly, yeah.
That was really something at the time.
Yeah.
But I normally come up here every year for the book fair.
Oh yeah?
And I'm here every year for the book fair. And the thing about that was this year, of course, they had the pandemic. We went out a lot here. But I've never been this far uptown. I've done some research. I've seen videos. I've seen pictures. I've had a great desire to come up here every time I came into Harlem. But they used to be closed on Saturday. Now they're scheduled to be open, but of course they're not open, for one reason or the other. Minister Malcolm has been a great influence in my life personally as a man, just by his deeds. But a lot of people don't understand is that I was involved in the Nation of Islam at that time when Minister Malcolm was, when he was assassinated. But all we got was bad talk about Minister Malcolm. So we were like parents at that point. We just repeated what was said, but the minister saying what the brothers were saying. We didn't know Malcolm the man. And of all the agony and stuff that they put Minister Malcolm through, no one ever apologized to him, nor his family. Now, I've seen Minister Farrakhan talk loud and talk bad about Minister Malcolm years and years before he made that speech when he did it in, I think it was like 95, he did a lecture that Betty Shabazz got involved in.
Okay,
One of the reasons why they had that big meeting up here.
Right.
But even then, he just apologized for his words, but he didn't apologize for his actions. He was very, very bitter and very, very mean and nasty when he talked about Minister Malcolm when he was amongst the Nation of Islam members. But when he got in front of the people in the Apollo Theater, you could hardly hear him talk. I said, he's not a tough guy. He was, he talked loud when he had that support. But Betty Shabazz separated him from that meanness that he had, that mean streak.
Right.
But he never apologized. He never apologized, and they never apologized. What really burned me up more so through my years of reading and studying Minister Malcolm is that they called him a hypocrite, but they never called him a liar. They never called him a liar. They never said he was a liar.
Right.
They said he was a hypocrite.
Right.
And then they went on to lie about him even being a hypocrite, because he wasn't hypocritical. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was hypocritical. We were taught in the Nation of Islam to abide by the laws that we're under.
Right.
And you can't have 6, 7 wives in the United States of America. You can't have that.
Exactly.
So if you're doing it and you say don't do it, then you're hypocritical.
Now let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
When did the wives become part of that narrative? I'm sorry.
Yes.
When did the wives actually, because I don't know how many people, I do remember hearing Malcolm mention something about them saying that if they were his wives, then they would be given these positions, exalted positions within the nation. But when did the wives, because I've heard some people say that in terms of the explanation, in terms of explaining away, the actions of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Correct.
That really didn't become a pronounced part of that narrative until after he passed away, to kind of really speak to that piece that Malcolm was saying.
it's a cover-up. It's always been a cover-up. I don't even know why Sister Tynetta would say that she was a wife. She was not. She was a girlfriend, or she was just somebody that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was sleeping with.
We call them jump-offs nowadays.
Well, yeah, side piece.
Exactly, exactly.
But Minister Farrakhan is still trying to cover up the actions of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And you just can't cover up wrong with wrong. So I always felt is that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad should have spoke honestly, truly, to the people that supported him.
Yeah.
From the very beginning.
Yeah.
When the rumors first came out, he shouldn't have had nobody try to cover it up. He should have just went out and said, look, this is what I did. I'm human. You know, this is me. This is me. I'm not saying do like I do. I'm saying you got to do better than I do.
Exactly. I think that he would actually, to me, from a prestige point, he probably would have been bigger had he done that. You know, had he done something like that,
right,
and said, well, listen, this is kind of a chink in my armor,
right,
and kind of explained it exactly the way that you did, and kind of just showed, exposed himself as a human, as opposed to the deity, which the common or the prevailing thought process in the nation at the time had deified him to the point of, a divine, being.
Right. The only thing that I hold against Minister Malcolm, and I love and respect him, the only grudge I could ever pick a bone with him is when he tried to cover it up. He tried to go into the Bible and use Elijah as David. And, he told the messenger that he would, cover things up.
Right.
Because he loved him that much.
Right.
He told Louis Farrakhan, he told Fat Joe, Captain Joseph.
Right.
And the word got back that he was talking about it, but Minister Malcolm was trying to put a fire out before it got started. It was already started.
Right.
And he was trying to put it out before kerosene got on, or gasoline.
I got you.
And that's the only thing I hold against him. He should have just went on and just been straight up forward. Okay,
from the rip.
You made a mistake. Where do we go from here?